This is Fantology.
You may have heard of us.
All right, what's up, fantasy book fans? This is Steven, your host with Fantology, along with my lifelong friends, Ben, Ryan, and Josh. And we're missing Jake this time, but 4 is a pretty good showing for Fantology. And we're going to be kicking off our monthly competition. This is for the month of October 2022 with our top 3 scary characters, obviously going a little Halloween themed this time.
Yeah, it's a scary time to be alive as well, so kind of fits in with everything, you know.
But it's also a great time to be alive if you're a fantasy book fan.
Oh, nice, Ryan. It's true.
Way to see the glass half full, Ryan.
We have a lot of great fantasy coming out.
Yeah, we do. It's like I'm actually having a hard time keeping up with everything, you know. Like every, She-Hulk is at the top of the list, and then
Wait, what?
What?
We start a Fantology episode, and the first thing that the burning topic on Ben's mind is She-Hulk.
Yeah, record scratch.
I
don't know.
It's beating out Rings of Power.
Everyone,
I don't know. It might be that we're going to talk about the top 5 scariest characters, and I think that She-Hulk might have some of the scariest characters.
everyone just clicked off of
Unintentionally.
this. If you're watching on YouTube, no one's watching anymore. They're done.
Yeah, see, guys.
That was said somewhat ironically, but I've actually been
Somewhat
enjoying the show. I mean, I definitely haven't been enjoying it more than like Rings of Power and House of the Dragon, but
Well, just enjoying Ben. Come on, man.
no, it's a good show for what it's trying to do.
No.
This is a hill I will die on.
Oh no.
It is a good show for what it's trying to do.
Oh,
It is-
oh no.
It is so cringe.
What's it trying to do, Ben? I want to.
What's it
Steven's
trying to do?
desperately trying to move past this conversation.
We need to stop. We're losing all credibility right now.
We'll do a review of She-Hulk. where me and
Ben's
Ryan
gonna
argued the whole
force us
time.
to put out a booktube video of She-Hulk.
I haven't seen She-Hulk. I
Uh-huh.
haven't even invested time in it. I just wanted to know.
You
what
are
Ben-
making the right decision, Ryan.
what Ben. He said for what it does, it's
Trying to be
okay.
like just kind of fun, like
Fun.
carefree. Yeah,
Yeah, just-
funny.
Ben, you are
It's trying to
you
pull
are going
in
to
different
you are going
audiences than are normally pulled in with
Okay.
these types of shows.
you are going to law school and you like dare say that this is a good show.
Hey,
Like the cases they've taken are so ridiculous.
man,
I
episode 2 when she was trying to get that injective motion, I was all for that. Okay,
my thinking on She-Hulk and pretty much all of the superhero things coming out is that it's so saturated by Disney, and I mean, nobody else really needs to put anything out there. That I don't really need to tune into something unless it's like exceptional, and She-Hulk is not.
yeah,
No.
I mean, but it's gonna have some tie-ins with Daredevil, so that's pretty cool.
I'm
It's the
so
only
pissed.
reason I'm watching.
Yeah, same.
I don't know.
In fact, at this point, there's been like 6 episodes. Haven't enjoyed any of them. At this point, I'm not watching another episode unless my brother, who loves everything about Marvel, even he says that he doesn't like She-Hulk, Ben. So I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Okay,
but
we can move on.
until
We can-
someone tells me Daredevil appears in the show, I'm not watching another episode.
Well, his helmet was in there.
Yeah, Daredevil needs to be in the show, not the helmet. Okay, yeah, moving on. So let's talk about scary characters. And if there's time at the end, we can circle back and talk about some like notable fantasy stuff. So Halloween is obviously at the end of the month. We've done villains before, as Ryan reminded us pre-recording, but I don't think we've ever just done straight up scary characters. And as I was compiling a list, I actually kind of had a hard time because I don't read a lot of horror. So maybe some of you guys that have read more Stephen King can kind of submit some of those things, and I'll stick with some villains that I try to make and argue are also scary.
I mean,
We'll
I
see.
think creepy is fine too if you just like get creeped out by them.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're new to the show, we're doing this as like a kickoff to a Twitter competition that we do. So once this comes out, I'm going to solicit a call for others on Twitter to submit their top 3 scary characters, and then we'll build a bracket, and then there'll be daily voting competitions, and whoever's entry advances all the way to the end gets bragging rights and I don't know, sometimes prizes. So let's go ahead and start. Who wants to give us our top 3?
I'm still kind of pondering, but I will just go for it.
Still pondering. I mean, do you need someone else to fill some time for you?
Sure. If Josh or Ryan wants to go for it, then
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
okay, Josh. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I'll go for it. Okay. So I mean, a lot of this is going to be Stephen King, right? Because he's probably the most prolific horror author, or I've read the most of his books out of any other horror author. So forgive me if they're a little bit Stephen King heavy, but I think that let's see, I'm gonna go with Pennywise from It for number 3. And I know that he's like pretty silly in the movies and the adaptions, and he's also pretty silly in the books, but it's more like the horror, and this is the thing with a lot of Stephen King books, I think, and the main point that I want to kind of submit is that Stephen King, the horror isn't really like the person that's causing the horror, like it's the ramifications that it has on the people affected, if that makes sense. And that's really going to be brought in for my next pick. But I do think that Pennywise is like a pretty scary character, and he drives people to do pretty crazy things. So yeah, number 3 is Pennywise. Number 2, I'm gonna go with, let's see, Louis Creed, and he's the dad from Pet Sematary. Also Stephen King work, and same thing again. Like he's not really a villain per se. I mean, I don't want to do spoilers, but he's not really a villain. But like the things that happen around him, and like the things in his life that like is brought on by like this curse that he's kind of triggered, are just really like disturbing. And it's probably been the book that has like affected me most, in terms of like just, messing with my head, I guess.
I haven't read Pet Sematary, but I did edit the audio for your guys' review of it. So I had this like maybe half understanding of what happens in the book.
It's kind of like a book you feel like you read a long time ago that you like remember
basically
details of it. Yeah. Let's see. Number 1, I'm gonna go with I don't want to give Stormlight spoilers, but I'm gonna say Odium. But if you've read all the books,
letter.
yes, Odium plus a letter, and that's pretty big spoilers, obviously. So that's all I'm gonna say. But like that whole situation, and obviously we haven't like dang, I don't know. I want to talk around this, but like that has really big ramifications for just like the entire Cosmere, and the way that this arc has been done has been like really, really well done for me. And I'm super excited to see the payoffs that come from it. And I know that that's really hard to say. It's like a scary character, but like it definitely is, I think, because you do get a lot of like those foreboding feelings when Odium plus a letter is around. So there you go.
Nice. Ben, was that enough time for you to
Yes,
finalize your list?
I'm feeling confident with my list now.
You were inspired by some of the directions that Josh went.
No, I definitely I'm ready. Okay, so first, this is not a person per se, but the Flood from Halo. Like very creepy, very scary. I still like remember when I was, like I don't know, probably 9, 10, 12, 11 years old when I was playing through like the campaign modes on Halo, and like whenever the Flood would come out, just like oof, that was scary. Maybe I was a bit older. I don't know. That was around that time. Halo 1 came out when we were like Yeah, 10.
Yeah. So
Like you die and you don't want to go again because you're too scared.
yeah, like I would way rather face like a hunter than the flood. You know what I mean? Like just
Hmm.
anything but the flood. And I think they just also did like the ambiance really well. So and we've been reviewing the Expanse books, and there's something very much like the flood that happens in the Expanse,
Mhm.
and it just like still gives me like such vivid like
Yeah, when you walk around, when you come across that first person that like has kind of been consumed by the flood or something, right? And he like talk to you, or you get something from him, or you realize
You
he's still
see
alive.
his footage, his first person
That's right.
footage
Yeah.
as Master Chief goes through the level, and then you just kind of find him dead, and then he like looks, and so you kind of see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, what cutaway scene from a video game has like what other cutaway scene from video games has like stuck with you guys after 20 or not, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
21
almost
years.
20 years, yeah. So pretty scary, pretty creepy. Okay, then I'm gonna say Tom Riddle. Now I'm specifically not saying Voldemort because he's just kind of like a, you know, like a your run-of-the-mill evil villain, but like Tom Riddle, like is very creepy to me, like this kind of charming person that's
Mm.
like, you know, slowly killing people to do horcruxes. Like that is very creepy, like very serial killery, you know what I mean? So yeah, Tom Riddle.
Okay.
And again, maybe that's just like these are all very, you know, things become scary when you read them at like during your formative years, and they just kind of stick with you, you know. All right, so my third pick is going to be a character from First Law, and it's also going to be kind of a spoiler, but if you've read at least through the first trilogy, you'll kind of know who I'm talking about. He's kind of an architect of everything, and he's pulling a lot of strings behind the
Mm.
curtain. So yeah,
Yeah.
very creepy
Okay.
character, and
Okay.
he just gets creepier as the series goes along. So
I agree. This one was a good pick. Good pick.
thank you. All right, so yeah, the flood, Tom Riddle, and character who shall not be named. That's not Lord Voldemort.
Nice. Ryan, you want me to go, or would you, do you
Well,
want to?
yeah, you go next, Stephen.
Okay. So I'm also kind of thinking back to some childhood formative things because I'm obviously old and can't be scared anymore. So the Tom Riddle one, I'm gonna go Harry Potter as well, and this is really similar to Tom Riddle, but I'm specifically gonna say the Basilisk because in the second book, like those italicized phrases that, you know, as you read them, that Harry was hearing, the rip, tear, kill, like that was really
Yeah.
creepy for me to read as a 10 to 11-year-old ish age. Like I still remember being terrified of that part of the book, and the snake itself is, you know, kind of a scary thing. I didn't know what a basilisk was at the time, and I'm probably still a little fuzzy on what a basilisk was, to be honest, other than what we've seen in the movie. But yeah, that was a scary one. I think Tom Riddle himself is probably a better like villain, but the basilisk was a scary thing.
So what was more scary, that or the voice in the waves? What was his name? Like I forget the
The
In the
Wind.
from
Ways.
Wheel of Time.
Oh, the Black Wind, Machin
The
Chin.
black, yeah, Manchunjin, because it's very similar. Like, you know, rip, tear,
Well,
kill.
yeah, but that was specifically supposed to actually, was that just am I already mixing up the TV show? And because in the TV show it was like showing them their worst fears and memories. I can't even remember if the book did that as well, or if it was just like disembodied voices. I think in the book it's supposed to be just like disembodied crazy voices,
Yeah, I do
but
too.
in the TV show they kind of like added this element of it's showing you your worst fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think in the book it was just saying really like evil
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't
Exactly.
directed, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I guess the fact that
It's in a school that you know,
yeah,
you're like picture yourself in Harry Potter a lot easier than you could picture yourself in the
right,
ways.
in the ways, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm never gonna find myself in the ways, but school, I could be there tomorrow as a 12-year-old, so it's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Ring Wraiths. When I was about the same age, I remember Lord of the Rings coming out, and sneaking downstairs to watch it while my parents were watching it one day when they had rented it. And I saw the
Great
ring race
decision.
part, and that was freaking terrifying as a
Like
child.
Frodo's hiding underneath the tree trunk and like,
Yeah, man.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
all
weather top was
Yeah,
scarier.
I don't
Dude,
think
I think-
I don't think I made it that far. I think
Josh, didn't we like see that in theaters? I think I remember seeing that
Yeah.
in theaters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went to theaters for that.
yeah, you guys were hardier children than I was.
Or their parents allowed.
Or we
a
had
bit
older
more.
siblings. You're the
Oh.
oldest, Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, oldest gets a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The oldest is the one who then turns around and terrifies the younger ones with
Yeah.
the stuff that terrified them as a I probably just made it to the part where the hobbits are hiding under the tree roots and the ring wraiths are coming after them and searching them out, and they escape somehow. And then I like cowered under my covers for the rest of the night.
You didn't even have to see Frodo get stabbed.
I probably saw that years later when I finally was. I don't think it was that bad. I'm probably exaggerating. Hopefully.
Stephen, if your number one isn't what it should be, then I'm going to be kind of mad at you.
I think you want my number one to be Samara from the Ring.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought about Samara. I mean, yeah, that's just like there's no book there, right? Is there? I don't think there's a
That's
book.
true.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess it could still be fantasy, but it doesn't seem fantasy enough. So I'm gonna go with a number one that's kind of similar. I'm gonna go with Carrie from Stephen King's
this is
book. Yeah. Somehow one year for Halloween, it was like on Halloween, I got tricked into watching Carrie, and I hate scary movies. Like, if there's one thing you take away from this episode, know that I am a total wimp. I hate scary movies, but I was peer pressured into watching Carrie, and I was also terrified by that. I think I was older at the time, so hopefully
by peer pressure, it's the girl you have a crush on is watching Carrie, so you watch Carrie. Is that what happened, Stephen?
I don't remember. I remember some of the people who were there. I don't remember everyone that was there, so I'm not sure if that's true or not.
I'm pretty sure it's true.
But there's a good chance it is true.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. It was probably related to some kind of romantic interest in some way. Yeah. But yeah, Carrie is a terrifying show, and I honestly don't remember too many details other than she kills everyone and the pig's blood, and that was all scary stuff. Okay, Ryan.
Stephen's scaring himself currently.
Also,
I'm not going to
let me jump in there. Carrie is a good villain. Like, especially, I can't remember how much backstory the movies give you, but like with their mom and everything, like that was pretty. It's all pretty creepy. Carrie's a good villain, a good scary character. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, that's fine. I think my number 3 pick, I'm going to pick Gollum or Smeagol from The Lord of the Rings. For much the same reason as Stephen. It was mainly the movies, watching them when I was younger, and Gollum was a very creepy, and that there's really two sides. There's kind of like the twisted side that has basically like become one with the ring, and there's more of like the old Smeagol side that is like more relates to Frodo, I guess, and kind of wants to be his friend. And I think of the scene in the movie with Gollum like crawling down the rock, like trying to get like coming after Sam and Frodo, and just I feel like those movies just did creepy. Like there were lots of creepy parts in the book that they did so well, and I think that Gollum was a great character who is just totally twisted by centuries holding the One Ring, and just indicates the ultimate corrupting power that it has. And so that's my number 3 pick.
There's not I can't think of anything that's too creepy in Rings of Power.
Yeah, it's got like kind of a brighter feel to it.
Except when it doesn't, when it's like bloody and like darker.
Yeah,
It's somewhat there are some darker moments. but there's not like that creepiness that the Ringwraiths and Golem provided.
I don't know. I just
You think there
watched-
is?
Yeah, where you can only be sealed by blood. That scene was very creepy
Pretty
from a couple
creepy.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Which characters are you thinking of? I'm
don't-
having trouble.
That where
Remembering.
he has to kill the kid, the villagers that go join.
Oh,
Adar.
yeah, Adar.
yeah.
I have not seen that part, so
Oh. That's what I was trying to be circumspect.
I'm sorry, you brought it up.
Yeah, I was being circumspect. You know, you know. Anyway, it's not like a huge plot point.
It's
but
not that
it's
big
very
of a plot
dark.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, what about when have you seen the part where the orcs pass around the water?
Yeah.
Very dark. There's
Yeah, but
dark
that's like-
scenes.
Those things are like, yeah, but they're not creepy dark. It's like violent dark. It's not creepy in the way that Ryan was describing with Gollum.
I guess not. I don't know.
The way that I'm thinking with the Ringwraiths, where they're just like
Imagine-
scary. Like that's more like unknown terror, where you're talking about more like grounded human terror.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, I'll accept that. But I've been creeped out a few times by watching Rings of Power. So it seems like
I just want Sauron. When does Sauron appear?
Have you seen that meme where it's like the Sauron is the Sauron is the Sauron? It's like different people, and then it gets to the end. It's Damon is the Sauron. It's pretty funny.
I have not, but I think I would like that meme.
I'll try and find it.
There's the
It's
classic
pretty-
the butterfly meme where like somebody's like pointing to the butterfly
yeah.
and there's like, is this a Sauron?
So back to my
Sorry,
picks.
Ryan.
It's all
Ryan,
right.
you should spoil something for Josh now.
No. Wait a second.
What series are you reading again, Josh? I'm just kidding. My number-
Okay, I have spoilers for you because you haven't started the book that we have right now, so I can spoil a whole ton for you if we're on against spoiler game.
So my number two pick.
That's true.
is-
Yeah, Josh. Ben and Josh have the leverage on us right now.
My number two pick is the Cathay from Name of the Wind,
Nice.
and it's so creepy and ominous. I mean, so it's not like the encounter that Kvothe has with the Cathay isn't like as scary as, I mean, he's kind of talking to this tree that's rustling. I guess the scariest thing about it is more the reaction that people have to like hearing about this encounter, like Bast specifically, where Bast is like
right.
please, like, say like that you didn't actually like talk to her, like please just tell me. And it just kind of like gives you chills of like the implications from the encounter. And I guess suddenly you're trying to look back and see what exactly was said and how is Quoth going to react to it, and is that gonna just be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So there's so many things about this individual, and it's like something that seems like normal, relatively normal, which is
A tree.
like or like something in the tree. It's not really clear exactly what the Cathay is, or maybe it is. Maybe somebody said no, it's the thing in the tree, or it's the tree. But I think that really like creepy, scary things are sometimes like everyday things that are just like twisted to become scary. Like Gollum is Smeagol twisted by the ring. The Ringwraiths are like men twisted. The Flood is like people twisted by a parasite. There's so many different things. Like I mean, there are scary things out there, but a lot of the ones that are the scariest to me, I guess, are those corrupted forms of normal everyday things.
I like that we're getting deep and actually defining what horror is on the episode.
I mean, yeah, horror takes many shapes or forms, but for me, those are some of the scariest. And my number one pick, which I'm surprised wasn't mentioned, is going to be the Inquisitors from the Iron Inquisitors from Mistborn, and specifically one in particular,
Steel.
the
Steel, right?
Steel Inquisitors, and one in particular who I won't name. I won't say any names, but I will tell you that one of the spikes is pounded in a bit more than the other, and I think that the Inquisitors are so scary for Mistborn, and just because, you know, they don't have eyes, they have spikes in their eyes. How do they see? Like, what's going on? Why? How do they have the powers that they have? There's so much mystery surrounding them, and as you get to find out how they're made, their backstory becomes just a lot more gruesome and horrifying. And the one that I mentioned in particular is scary because of its own background, and how in the future it acts. I'm trying not to say whether it's he or she, but how it acts in the future of the book, and I think that's just chilling, very chilling villain, and specifically this one in particular.
Nice.
I like it. I'm surprised you went through that whole thing with the Cathay without bemoaning Rothfuss writing Doors of Stone.
Yeah, well,
the Cathay is giving prophecies, which who knows if we'll ever see them come to fruition.
I'm kind of past that, I guess, at least right now. I say I'm past it, but next episode I'll be talking about it again. I think it's because in my mind I've just kind of resigned myself to be like, it's not going to happen unless, you know, some miracle, but I'm not waiting for it. But then I'll like read something online that's like, you know, Patrick Rothfuss promised us, you know, this, and he still hasn't delivered, or he said this, and, you know, then it just kind of reignites my righteous fury and desire for the ending of this trilogy, which
or Steven will just throw something out there to derail you into
Steven just says something and suddenly my mind spins.
I'm kind of with you, Ryan. We were just on alternate cycles where you're okay and I'm not okay, and then I'm okay and you're not okay.
Yeah, maybe Patrick Rothfuss, he should honestly pull a Brandon Sanderson and just write a different book.
Yeah,
at this point, you know, like,
that's a good idea.
Not a bad idea.
Just, well, you kind of did that with
he did
whatever
maybe
the mini book. Okay, come on, it's a weird title.
The novella,
the slow regard of silent things.
Yeah, it's a tricky title, Steven. Don't give me that look.
No, it is. No, I actually couldn't come up with it. I was gonna say, yeah. I was trying to. You mentioned Sanderson and then the long tricky title, and I was thinking like Shadows for Silence, but obviously that's wrong. So yeah. I also had a brain fire.
Rand's got us. That would be a good idea. Maybe we should tweet it, Rothfuss.
Have you ever thought about writing other stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure Rothfuss would really appreciate that tweet.
Honestly, though, like that sounds like a great idea, because there's got to be so much pressure on this book. Just write some fun stuff that doesn't need to be. People don't have expectations for.
His prose is so great. I mean, a lot of people would just enjoy, you know, hearing him write something else. What's so funny, Steven?
What if I just had a funny thought? What if Rothfuss comes out with some video where he comes out like Sanderson and he's like, for the past 12, how many years has it been? Is it?
I think 11.
It's 11 years. Yeah, for the past 11 years, I've been secretly writing all of this, and he just like pulls out stacks and stacks of pages. It's like, I've written 20 books that I'm now going to publish.
Yeah, but I was like, every time that somebody tweeted me asking when Doors of Stone was going to be finished, I pushed it back by another week.
I waited for the single day where nobody tweeted at me.
Have you guys heard that? It's like a Reddit post where there's like, upon Rothfuss's death, somebody comes in and sees like all these different copies, and it's like all the different versions of the ending. And it's like, okay, you pick the best one, and it's impossible to pick because they're all so good.
I have seen that.
Is the Rothfuss is a Chad meme.
It's stuff like that that gives us hope.
Yes.
Ryan, I'm reading this book right now called The First Binding. Have you heard me talk about it?
I have, how it's very similar in a lot of the aspects to Name of the Wind. I saw that you said you would like it a lot more if you hadn't already read Name of the Wind.
I don't know if I love it or if I hate it. It's the weirdest feeling ever. But I'm like looking forward to reading the book more tonight. It's weird.
It's like it gives you a little taste of what you want from more of King Killer Chronicle.
It sounds like a guilty pleasure TV show, like one of those that like it's like I really should not like the show, but I just want to turn it on because it's relaxing. I know it's kind of trashy. I mean, I've never read the book or know anything about it, so I don't want to be talking about it.
Right, you're just saying it's the same type of feeling.
That's what I relate that feeling to. Like I started the new Vampire Academy show that's on Peacock last night. I'm like, this show, there's no way it's good. There's absolutely no way it's good. But
Josh,
you know what? It's October. It was like,
so we have a running joke in our like broader friend circle that Josh just watches the trashiest shows. It always recommends them, and some of our other friends.
No. First of all, I hardly ever recommend them. I give a review about them. That's usually that they're not good, and then people make fun of me that I watch the show. I'm like, I'm not telling you guys to watch the show. I'm just saying that I watched it, and here's what I thought about it. And everybody makes fun of me for it.
Well, do that with Vampire Academy, and I'm sure some of our other friends will appreciate that a lot.
Oh yeah, they're just
all right. For it. Should we do some honorable mentions? Any other scary characters that you had down?
The Tenascowry. I mean, it's not really an individual character.
Oh, right. From Malazan, Memories
Book
Vice.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like this horde of like peasants that are essentially kind of militarized, but they don't really, this like emperor doesn't really like provide them with supplies. So they basically cannibalize themselves or whoever they find, like wherever they come across. And they're the children in the dead seed who are women who go out and
impregnate themselves from men that are dying.
Yeah.
Really weird idea, but yeah. Yeah.
Homelander from The Boys. I mean, very like lots of creepy things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can immediately think of like 4 very creepy things that he does, you know? So yeah.
I was trying to think of like some from Game of Thrones.
Ramsay?
And Ramsay Bolton is
Joffrey.
definitely. Joffrey isn't like scary as much as like kind of petulant, and
petulant's a good word.
I was thinking that the Mountain, like I mean, more scary in the classical sense of the word, just because of like,
because he will crush your face.
And and the rumored abuse that he had, like, you know, just like people randomly, he gets so angry he basically burns the Hound's face, right? And you know, clearly very unstable person who also is a giant of a man and can physically
ruin you.
Yeah. And I think it's specifically scary at a time where, you know, like physical prowess meant so much, you know, like if you are a strong person, you can basically go and take what you want to an extent, or if you're nobility.
I just recently went to the play Sweeney Todd. Very creepy. I mean, it's a movie, it has Johnny Depp in it, so I think I've seen the movie, but it's been a long time. But it's a very creepy premise. So yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's
the Demon
creepy.
Barber.
Yeah.
I know more
that's
about
the barber one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I know more about it from the Office episode on it. But I haven't ever seen of the play or the movie.
Yeah. It's creepy.
Okay, guys, I do have one suggestion real fast.
Okay.
I think that we should all pick who Jake would have, like we all get one guess on a character that Jake would put on his list. Jake makes his list, and if one of us picks it right, then we get. If one of us picks a character that would be
Okay.
on Jake's list.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, what would Jake choose?
He's gonna. Oh, I know what he's gonna pick. I haven't read the series, but I know what he's gonna pick.
The Shrike.
Yeah.
Okay, who gets that one? Ryan or Steven?
We'll see if he does it.
I'll let Steven take it.
It could count for both of us.
I'm going to pick the Murdral. I mean, that's not really a character. Who's the scariest? What's the scariest thing from Wheel of Time?
I'll give you
Pat and Fane?
Yeah. I had Pat and Fane down as an honorable mention. You can take the Shrike. I'll take Pat and Fane.
Okay.
It's funny because I was going to suggest Lanfear because I know that.
Scary.
Well, yeah, man. She's the only Forsaken that actually I think had a chance of like taking Rand down.
Yeah, but not scary if you're Rand.
Yeah, I think there's there's another one, but spoilers.
Anyway, but that's not who I was gonna.
I'm trying to think of like the most obscure book that I can think of that Jake would pull from. Yeah. Probably say something from like Foundation.
There's one that's from Children of Time, the sequel to Children of Time. It's like an organism that these people encounter out in space that's kind of like a parasite. But it learns who the person is and kind of like tries to mimic them, but it has like giveaways, and it's always like, come with us, like we're going on an adventure, and like these astronauts are like suddenly like one of them like says it, and they realize later that like he was crazy, and then like another one starts talking like that, and they're like, oh my gosh. Anyways, I forget what it's called, but that could definitely be one of Jake's picks. It's from the Children of Time series. The
adventure organism.
Mm-hmm.
I was also thinking from the third book and the dark. What's the crap?
Three-body problem.
What? The three-body problem. Third book. The character that flicks something.
Death's End.
Yeah, but the I don't want to say what it is because it's a pretty big thing, but like the character that's scanning the universe and then decides to do something, and then
Okay,
yeah,
fair.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I had done just like the universe in general from the three-body problem, just like the idea of the universe.
I like it. Yeah, that's true.
That's sufficiently meta for Jake.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we got some good picks for Jake.
Ben, did you have one?
No, I think those are all valid options. I don't know if I would hazard a guess.
I had 3 other honorable mentions. One, I put down Glocta from the First Law. I don't know.
Yeah.
He could be. There's times where he's pretty dang scary.
Yeah.
But also times where I really like him, which is maybe scary on my part. And I put down Jorg from the Broken Empire trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
And if you like Jorg, then I really am scared.
Concerned
of you. Yeah, concerned. And then also Nicodemus / the Denarians from Dresden Files.
Good pick.
And that's the best Dresden villains, and the only ones that are like actually legit scary to me. The Denarians are scary.
Wait,
beings.
What about the gangster guy? Is that Nicodemus?
No. Nicodemus is a Denarian.
Oh yeah.
The gangster guy is Marcone.
Marcone. He's getting scarier and scarier.
He's not really.
What?
I think he's like.
Have you read Battleground?
Let's not do too many spoilers.
Okay, yeah.
I know what you're talking about now, but
So one honorable mention, and this might be, I don't know. I don't want to endorse this author, but it stuck with me because I read it when I was like 12 years old. But Lost Boys by Orson Scott Card, very creepy book. So, and it's always stayed with me. I doubt anybody's going to go out and read this, but it has a similar ending to The Sixth Sense. And yeah, so it was very creepy. That's my one honorable mention.
Okay, so scary characters. Follow us on Twitter, tweet at us your scary 3. We need 3 characters, your submission for scary characters, and then you can play along throughout the rest of the month of October. Any other like final words from you guys? Anything? Any burning?
I had a
coat of arms in the background, Stephen. Is that the Lannister coat of arms?
It is the Lannisters who I've decided I'm part of their house.
Steven's had that coat of armor up for a long time. It's just the shot's different.
It's more prominent. No, it's a valid question because I just moved and this is I think the first time you've seen my new setup, and the Lannisters are a little bit more prominent now.
And for any listeners or viewers who are interested at your guys' college apartment, I think there were my posters, but we put them up in yours. We had the
we stole your posters.
I think that I just would rather have had them in yours, but
the amount of hours Ryan was at our place was greater than the amount of hours you had at your place, probably.
We had the Lannister, like Hear Me Roar, and Targaryen Fire and Blood, and the Stark.
That's right.
Winter
Yes, we
is
did.
Coming.
Yes, we did.
I don't know what happened to those, but
that was before Game of Thrones was the phenomenon that
before it was mainstream. Yeah. And our Wi-Fi name was Daenerys is my Wi-Fi. Very very clever.
It didn't age very well though.
No, it didn't.
Also, Ben and Ryan somehow found wives. Don't know
somehow found wives
with posters hanging up like that in our door. Those were the only things we had on the wall in the dorm.
They weren't even framed or anything. They were just like, were they framed? No, they weren't framed.
Why is that Ben and Ryan somehow?
Yeah,
why not
you? The wife that you found doesn't count, Josh.
No, because I knew Mackenzie before, like that. Yeah. I'm just saying that like the first impression of the people that end up becoming your guys' wives was with the posters on our wall. So that's impressive.
Valid.
Yeah,
I guess it all just read. They all assumed it was me, and it's stuck with me ever since, and that's why I'm still single.
I will share. This is more just for the laugh of everybody that listens, but I had a kind of scary experience today. So we are cutting down our neighbor's tree, and Lindsay, like my wife, looks down. She sees a box, and the box.
Wait, were you helping your neighbors cut down their tree, or was it like over?
Sorry, it's hanging over our fence, and we're just like trimming up. Okay,
we're cutting down our neighbor's tree
without their consent, and they anyway, booby trap.
Yeah. So we looked down. There's an old box, and there's a hive of bees in this box, like hundreds of bees. I don't know however many bees are in a hive. Just
probably thousands.
Probably 1,000. I mean, it's like I'll send a picture on Discord. And so we're like, oh, that's interesting. We text our neighbor about it, so they're gonna like have a beekeeper come out. But like I'm like, oh, I'll just like mow the lawn, right? So I'm mowing the lawn, and I do not hear because the lawnmower is quite loud, but the bees start to swarm. And so I just see like all these things start darting in front of my face. I'm like, oh my gosh, I look around, bees are swarming around me. I feel them inside my shirt. So I'm like waving my arms, run into the house, pulling my shirt off. I only got stung once on the inside of my arm, but it was a quite scary experience. And my first time ever.
How do we get the video?
Bees. No,
there's got to be some sort of outdoor camera setup.
My other
any security cam footage.
But it was
This is like in Link when you like accidentally, or in Breath of the Wild when you accidentally like stumble upon sort of a beehive and then you get swarmed.
it was yeah, there you go. There's my scary experience for the day. So
I had a funny bee experience where we were at Catalina Island and my sister-in-law is like super scared of bees. And so I'm like, look, just don't do anything. Like, and there's a bee flying around. I'm like, just don't do anything. You're gonna be fine. She's like, nope, they're evil. And I was just standing there, just like literally not doing anything. I said bee land on me. And I'm like, it's not gonna sting me, and then it just stings me.
This bee is like, I will
Like,
commit
literally,
suicide for this.
I like didn't like try and swat it away. I just like was standing there. It landed on my arm. It just stung me. I was just standing there, minding my own business. Anyway, sorry,
That's
your
pretty
bee
funny.
story is better, but
no, that's a pretty good one. There's a sense of irony there. But well, the other thing was that because we were planning on having our daughter's birthday party in our backyard, so my wife was like freaking out because she's like, I don't want any kids to like come over and get stung. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna do. They're on the other side of the wall. Like nobody's like, they're not gonna sting us. You know, they're happy. No, that proved to be false. So yeah.
So women know a lot more about bees
Yeah.
than men do.
They're rightly apprehensive. So
funny.
All right.
All right.
I think that's a wrap. If you want to, we were planning on maybe talking about Rings of Power or House of the Dragon a little bit, but I think at this point, let's call it a wrap. And if you want to get our opinions on those things, there will be future episodes. We've been doing a lot of episodes about House of the Dragon, but 0 episodes about Rings of Power, which is probably because we actually don't know anything about Rings of Power other than watching the show. So we're not very qualified to talk about it.
Also, I just feel like everybody's take is so weird about Rings of Power. Like everything I read, anyway, I don't know. I'll vent about it sometime, I'm sure. But
well, maybe we need a Josh Vents video.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Those do well. Yeah.
mine, well, I don't know, because mine is like, I don't know why everybody thinks it's either the best thing ever made or the worst thing ever made. Like I think it's fine. So I don't know if this is like a real good vent. It's just like okay, the show's decent, like we can move on and we don't have to like all scream at each other about how it's like perfect. And
Yeah, it's become like this
it's like a
divisive, like yeah,
it's weird.
even more so than Wheel of Time.
Well, it's
So.
like Wheel of Time, only broader culture, like not
Yeah.
just nerds
Mhm.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because mostly nerds watched Wheel of Time, but everyone watches Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Is that true? Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I guess we could probably pull up some numbers, and they did release some like ratings for House of the Dragon and Rings of Power today, but it's hard to even with the numbers, it's hard to know how things are doing.
Yeah.
All
right.
Thanks everyone. Good luck in the competition.
Yeah.